It's time for Rabbi Minkowicz's Weekly Torah Lesson, a place where life's most difficult questions are answered. Here with his spiritual perspective and insight, Rabbi Minkowicz.
Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha's Tisa. The question of the week is, what is the key to eternal relationships? So in this week's Torah portion, Parsha's Tisa, we deal with the Jewish people after they've sinned with the golden calf, and now they're looking for atonement. So we find something interesting when it comes to the atonement. So God tells Moshe Rabbeinu that wanted to see God. He said, I'm going to place you by the tzur, which is a rock, and then when I'll pass by, and you'll be in the rock. So you see that God uses the term rock twice when it comes to Moshe Rabbeinu seeing God in terms of the atonement for the Jewish people. And also we see that there was a krisus bris made, there was a bond made. How do you take a bond? How did they do a bond then? They would take one piece of paper or one animal, they would split it in half. Originally it was one, and they would walk through it. So in other words, you see that in order to do atonement, you have to use a rock, and you have to basically split something in half, and people got united through it. So what's the connection between the idea of a rock and between splitting something in half? Because if you think about it, what is the difference between sand and a rock? Sand is something which is many pieces. It's not really one. However, a rock comes from the word, it's rock solid. It's one. In other words, God was hinting to Moshe Rabbeinu, when can you have real atonement? When the relationship to begin with is rock solid. When the relationship is coming rock solid, meaning just like by a bond, you take something, you split it in half, but the truth is, it's not really two halves. It's one piece that got split, but really it's one. So when your relationships from the get-go are rock solid, that means whatever happens, you're still one rock. Or whatever happens, you're still originally from the same place, then you can accomplish real atonement because you're not taking two pieces and two foreign objects and putting them together. But the truth is, to begin with, it was a rock-solid relationship from the beginning. So in other words, to answer the question, how can you have internal relationships? To make sure your relationships are rock solid from the get-go. And then if things happen, you'll always be able to remain strong because you're really connected to the person as one. This week's Torah lesson is in memory of Baruch ben Aryeh Leib and Shlomo Ben Yosef. May their souls be elevated for the Torah that we're studying in their memory. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. For more information on Chabad, please see our website.